Hey guys, what's going on? It's Nekumore here, and I'm making a video about a game mod that I found. It's been floating around the internet for a little bit, so it's likely that you already heard about it, but it is in fact Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past randomized. But, you know, this game has been floating around on the internet for a little bit, so it's likely that you've already heard of it, but in case you haven't, pay attention, because you need to know about this. So all Link to the Past randomized is a link to the past, but all the items that you get from chests, all the items that you get from NPCs, are all random. And honestly, I think the best way to demonstrate this is to actually show off some of the game. So, let's get to it. So now when I say this game is randomized, I mean it. Any item could be in any chest, except for the minigame chests. You know, the ones where you gamble for rupees, those chests don't count. What I'm talking about are chests like this one in Link's house. In a normal playthrough, you get the lamp, right? Well, now you have the chance to get anything in the game. Now, when I say anything, I mean anything. We could get the Bamos medallion, we could get the magic hammer, we could get the cape. We can get just about anything. And it's gonna be awesome, because we have no idea what it's gonna be. We know what it should be, but now it could be anything. Let's go ahead and open that, and... Alright. Okay. Alright. Cool. Rupees. 5 rupees. I did say we could pull anything, and that means rupees included. This is legitimately the first item I pulled. The first time I generated this ROM, I pulled rupees. Talk about a letdown, okay? I was so excited to be able to pull anything, and the game just spits rupees at me. I may have been a little overdramatic with the rupees, sure. I should have expected it though, since it is a randomized game and there are many more chests than there are important items in this game. So it's only natural that we're going to be running into a lot of rupees, bombs, arrows, etc. This particular seed of mine ended up being very, very lucrative though, especially early on, which makes me think that there's a good chance that later on the chests are just going to start to suck and the hype of the game is just going to die early. And I really hope not. Now, even though the chests are randomized, there's going to be times when chests need to give you certain things. Certain chests have keys that you can't continue without, and the randomizer doesn't affect those. So if you think you're going to get stuck somewhere because you're not going to get the right key at the right time, don't worry about it. You will never find yourself in a position where you are truly stuck. For example, you wouldn't find the Eastern Palace big key in Harris Tower. Dungeon important items like the map, the compass, and the big key are still in their respective dungeons, just not necessarily where they would normally be placed. And you often get one item or weapon or an upgrade in the dungeon. You'll still only get one, but it's completely random. Now that said, even though the game is randomized, you're not going to get the same thing twice, because that would be redundant. And on the same note, let's say you get the Titan's Mitt, the level 3 glove, or the Golden Gauntlet, whatever you want to call it, and then get the level 2 glove in the normal game, you would downgrade, and that would soft lock you because you wouldn't be able to lift the heavier stones. However, if you get the level 3 glove and then the level 2 glove in this randomizer, don't worry about it. Your glove's not going to be overwritten, you'll still have the more powerful of the two. That said, in my Let's Play of this, I ended up getting the Tempered Sword before I got the Master Sword. I found myself able to find the Titan's Mitt long before I was supposed to, so I was able to go to the Dark World and save the blacksmith in order for him to go temper my sword. And at that point, I hadn't gotten the Master Sword yet, so I thought to myself, there's no way they're gonna give me the tempered Master Sword. And I was wrong. I completely skipped the Master Sword. There's no reason for me to finish the first set of dungeons. I haven't aired that episode yet, but it's coming. I went from level 1 sword to level 3 sword. I have a false Master Sword, which is cool because it still works on the statues. You know, these statues, where you're supposed to hold the Master Sword up and it grants you a magical ability. I made my way up to the Bamos statue by Harris Tower. I had already collected Bamos at this point, so I knew that the statue wasn't going to give me Bamos. I held my tempered false Master Sword into the sky, and from it, the flippers. So basically the gods knew that I had a fake Master Sword trying to get their magical ability, and they decided to throw dirty old flipper at me. Just take our junk. But I got the flippers! I could go on about this mod for hours, but I'd be telling you my own adventure about it. And frankly, it's a lot better when you guys go through it. Because even if you've beaten Link to the Past 100% and you know where everything is, this randomizer completely throws off your sense of direction. I mean, there's something about going into a dungeon knowing that you're not equipped or you're not going to be equipped. Even if, for example, in the first dungeon, you're supposed to pull the bow, but you accidentally pull the shovel. Now what are you supposed to do? You can't finish the dungeon. Well, that's when you leave and come back. I think that's why I like this mod so much, because it doesn't go in order like it used to. It used to go the Eastern Palace, and then whatever the desert temple is called, and then Harris Tower, and you went in that order, and that's what made sense. 1, 2, 3. It's kind of like the first game, right? Where if you weren't properly equipped to deal with something, you left, and you came back until you were properly equipped. So if you can't get through the first dungeon, don't worry about it. Just go look for more chests in the overworld, maybe explore the dark world for a little bit if you can. It's just, you have to play this. Just try the mod. I have the link in the description below to where you can get the generator that'll generate your randomized Link to the Past adventure. So go on down there, generate the ROM, load up your SNES emulator, and get going. Oh yeah, one last thing I should mention is that if you've never played Link to the Past before, I recommend actually playing through the English version, because if you don't have knowledge of the Japanese language, you might find yourself a little confused about the randomizer, because unfortunately, it is only in the Japanese language, and it's done like that for speedrunning purposes. You know, speedrunners use the Japanese version of the game so that they can get through the text faster. So, if you're not familiar with Link to the Past, maybe play through the English version first before randomizing the adventure. So, just my little piece of advice for you. If you haven't played the English version and you don't want to be lost and confused, do a quick run through that. You won't be sorry. Have I been holding the wrong game this whole time? And what even is this? Fix the adventure? Kind of appropriate, right? You're fixing your Link to the Past adventure so it can be something new, unique, and exciting. I wonder what this is about. Well, I'm going to go try this out, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to Nekimore, consider doing so. I do a lot of game commentaries and game reviews, among other types of videos, and I try to upload once or twice a month. So, thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.